All right, what's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. We are going to be taking a look here at good old Home Cheapo, ticker HD. Excuse me. Let's dive in. All right, this is kind of a market structure thought process here. Okay, there are key areas in the market that you're going to be able to identify that are going to have confluence on multiple time frames. And understanding the ability to see these areas with clarity is going to be monumentally important to you as time prevails, okay? It doesn't matter if we're looking at a monthly chart, a weekly, a daily, a 5-minute, a 1-minute. The market is going to create structure that ultimately is going to be able to allow you to create a thought process, right? At the end of the day, while nobody wants to hear the truth is none of us know with certainty, 100% certainty, what the market is going to do next, right? Because there is no trader in existence that wins every single trade. Nobody knows what the market's going to do next. Market makers perhaps do, but I can tell you they're not allowed to trade. Why? It's pretty simple, okay? Because they have an unfair advantage, all right? Even when it comes to this term insider trading, right? Like corporate insiders of companies, they have restrictions. Politicians are about the only people that can technically insider trade that it's not illegal or punishable by crime. That's a different rabbit hole. That's not what I want to go down today. But the conversation I do want to have, again, circles back to market structure. So taking a look here at Home Depot, this is a monthly chart. I know that seems kind of big picture, but I want to show you how on the monthly chart we can look at the weekly and the daily and have a real kind of understanding of what's happening. Now you can see as we've come into this area here that I have marked off in green on the bottom, we have on several occasions, right, we've touched this area and we've provided support over and over and over and over again. Okay, you're going to see it here on the monthly, you're going to see it on the weekly, you're going to see it on the daily. And then I have one singular line drawn off of this very first high, all right, that we made a push out of this area, all right? So we had resistance, immediate failure, resistance, and here's the break, okay? On a monthly basis, a weekly basis, a daily basis, we settled above this very specific line. We've pushed higher, we've placed a slightly lower high, and now we've come back to test what was previously appointed resistance, which could now be newly appointed support, okay? If this is the higher low, then we could look for a higher high to potentially fully test this top or push beyond it, okay? If bigger picture, this is the lower high, and then we flush this low, that's a thought process as well. But I want to show you what I'm seeing because over the next few days or even the next few weeks, we're going to find out if Home Depot is going to hold this level. So let's go to the weekly chart, kind of take a closer look, all right? Again, you can see all these occurrences where we fail to settle above this line and all the occurrences where we find support down here. So here's the break. Here's the retest. Notice this retest comes in very specifically and tests this prior high level, okay? All right? So what was resistance on the top of this wick became support here. And then we've taken this drive higher. Now we've come back on a weekly basis to test this area twice. I want you to notice the second test that did penetrate deeper through that level was on decreasing selling volume. So I want to pay very particular attention to what happens here next. Right? Do we, from this area, take a significant push higher, whether it's retesting these prior highs or testing the prior highs back from 2021? I don't know the answer to that yet, right? Time will tell. But if this area holds as support, there's a chance that we do take a push higher from here, okay? we've had some broad market selling, which you can see is transpired here. Right? We've had a little broad market buying. Does it necessarily mean that the correction's over? Not necessarily. Okay? But this is for, educational purposes so that you can take this same concept and use it on a 3-minute chart in your day trading, right? Or you can use it on your swing trading, whatever. Understanding market structure is understanding market structure, period, right? So, let's go to a daily time frame. Notice we dance around this level, and then we gap above it on increasing volume, right? Let me extend this out. See, notice how on the daily time frame you can see this tested so beautifully. Let's take a look what it looks like when I pull it all the way over here. We've now gapped above what previously provided support. Here's your impulse, your gap up, your pullback, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. What do I think could provide initial resistance if Home Depot can drive higher? I'm looking very specifically at this daily gap right here, okay? This daily gap right here. If we're going to take a push higher, this would be my first kind of targeted area where I would imagine I'm going to get that impulse and then a pullback, and then we'll have to see if the buyers can push above that. This area here, this little gap, plays a very specific role in my humble opinion. Above that, we have an ever so slight gap here from the low of this day to the high of this day. That would be my next targeted area, right there around 367.25. Right? And then if we can push back up and retest this high, you can see this is where the final climax transpired before we started selling off. So I'd be looking here right around this level, 383.25 roughly. So if we're on the way back up here, this gap first, the base of this big candle here, 367 and change, and then I'd be looking up here at 384, 385, right? Notice we made a double top here, and then we took this one last, it's called a volume climax, okay? It's just, that's what it is, right? It's the last shot of exertion before it falls back, right? We're all adults here. We all understand what a climax is, right? Like it's the price works its way up, boom, and it falls off. That's exactly what this is a super prime example of, right? This is a volume climax, right? And it was done not on super high volume, but it was increased volume. It did take a gap, and we were never able to recover from there, right? And once we broke this area, once this area here proved not to be support any longer, that's when we were in trouble, okay? The next layer of support would have been right down here at these lows right there. Then we broke that, right? Then we broke this gap. And then we broke these lows, right? We actually gapped through them. So the whole purpose behind this entire video is to simply show you that if you are willing to take the time to look left, all right, on any chart you're looking at, there's a story to be told. Okay? I call this the roadmap roller coaster, right? Either you're going to read the market like a roadmap or you're going to ride it like a roller coaster. You can't have both, right? The idea is for you to have a calm, consistent, disciplined approach to the market. And the only way you're ever going to be able to do that is to be able to humbly look left, take the clues that the market leaves behind, create a thesis around those clues so that you can now make an educated decision employing extraordinarily conservative risk management tactics to step into a position that could potentially yield you a greater return than the loss that you're prepared to take. That's what it comes down to. Listen, everyone's looking for the smoking gun, right? Everyone's looking for the silver bullet. Everyone's looking for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is doing your very best job over and over and over again, suffering small losses, larger wins, and at the end, being profitable. That's how it works, guys. So with that, I will leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I encourage you to leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, just so you make sure you don't miss out on any more informational, educational content that I put out on a fairly regular basis. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you'd like to join my experience service, you can do that. There's a link below there as well. Feel free. It's stocks, futures, forex, cryptocurrencies, options. It's analysis that I don't publicly share. It's my own personal analysis that I don't publicly share. My intraday trading style that I don't, publicly share. I share the aftermath of it, but I don't share, while it's transpiring. So if you're interested in day trading, if you're interested in swing trading, position trading, acquiring positions, things like that, if you're interested in learning more about different components of the market, feel free to check it out. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.